In November 2020, following an ambush outside of Tehran, Iranian state media released a report that sounded like science fiction. They claimed their top nuclear scientist had been killed by a robotic assassin mounted in the bed of a parked blue pickup truck. The Iranian public initially dismissed the report. To them, the idea of a remote-controlled sniper sounded like a desperate cover-up designed to mask a massive domestic security failure. But the rumor was accurate. Mossad had smuggled a multi-ton Belgian-made machine gun into the country in pieces, reassembling it secretly inside the truck bed. This moment introduced a new reality for covert operations, an assassination carried out by a sniper located over 1,000 miles away. The target was Mohsen Fakhrizadeh. While he was largely unknown to the public, he had been a primary focus of Western intelligence for years. Within the Iranian government, Fakhrizadeh was the mastermind spearheading the country's covert nuclear weapons and ballistic missile programs. Israel had sought his elimination since 2007, but he was protected by a massive security detail from the elite Revolutionary Guards that escorted him in heavily armed convoys. Locating Fakhrizadeh was only the first step. The real challenge was figuring out how to penetrate an elite security bubble without triggering a full-scale war. The 2020 AI strike was the climax of a shadow war Mossad initiated in 2004, a long-term campaign to systematically undermine Iran's nuclear ambitions. Early tactics were less high-tech. In 2007, Iranian scientists began dying under mysterious circumstances, including reports of targeted radioactive poisoning. By 2010, the methods became more brazen, with operatives on motorcycles pulling alongside moving cars to attach magnetic bombs to key nuclear experts. In 2018, Mossad agents raided a Tehran warehouse and stole 50,000 pages of nuclear archives. Prime Minister Netanyahu later presented these findings to the world, detailing a secret plan to build a nuclear warhead. As these methods were exposed, Iranian security adapted. The physical tactics that worked a decade earlier would no longer be effective against an ultra-high-value target like Fakhrizadeh. In early 2020, Mossad leadership met with senior U.S. officials to align their strategies. With American backing, Israel authorized the strike on Fakhrizadeh. Intelligence analysts noted that Iran's reaction to General Soleimani's death earlier that year was relatively restrained. This suggested that Tehran was hesitant to retaliate aggressively against high-level assassinations. This perceived hesitancy opened a window for Mossad to deploy its most experimental and audacious weapon. Despite his security detail, Fakhrizadeh had a fatal routine. He often ignored protocol by choosing to drive his personal, unarmored vehicle. On the day of the hit, operatives parked the rigged Nissan pickup on a raised area outside the town of Absard, providing a clear view of the oncoming highway. The Sentinel-20 system fed data to a satellite, routing it to a screen over 1,000 miles away. To compensate for satellite delay, onboard AI adjusted for latency, allowing the weapon to fire 600 rounds per minute with total accuracy. After the target was confirmed down, the truck detonated itself to destroy the evidence. The operation neutralized Iran's top asset without risking a single Israeli operative on the ground. Following the hit, Israel maintained its long-standing policy of ambiguity. No official ever claimed responsibility, and the leadership in Jerusalem refused to comment. This silence serves two roles. It preserves a layer of diplomatic deniability while sending a clear message of deterrence to the rest of Iran's scientific elite. The attack also drew international backlash. Critics argue that extrajudicial killings of scientists violate international law and blur the line between civilian and military targets. Mossad's doctrine relies on this paradox, ensuring an adversary knows exactly who is responsible, even when it can't be legally proven. Despite the technological success of the hit, its ultimate strategic value remains a subject of debate. Diplomatically, the assassination escalated tensions and complicated the already fragile attempts to revive the Iran nuclear deal. Paradoxically, the strike provoked Iran into doing exactly what the mission intended to prevent. In the immediate wake of Fakhrizadeh's death, Tehran vowed to accelerate its nuclear activities and enrich uranium at higher levels. The remote machine gun strike was a first-of-its-kind operation, yet it leaves the Middle East trapped in the same volatile stalemate.